Atchison, Kansas. A place that, at first glance, seems like any other small town in the American Midwest. Its streets are lined with historic homes and the gentle hum of daily life fills the air. But beneath this peaceful surface, something far more mysterious lingers. This is a town known for its picturesque charm and friendly faces, where neighbors greet each other by name and children ride their bikes down tree-lined avenues. The community is tight-knit, and the pace of life is slow, almost timeless. Yet for those who look a little closer, there are whispers. Stories passed down through generations, tales that hint at something unexplainable. Nestled among the rolling hills and quiet streets, sits a house that, to the untrained eye, appears perfectly ordinary. Its Victorian architecture, though weathered by time, blends in with the other historic homes. But this house is different. It harbors a chilling secret, one that has drawn the curious and the brave for decades. This is the Sallie House. To some, it's just another relic of the past, but to others, it's a place where innocence and terror collide. Here, the veil between our world and the next is said to be thin. So thin, in fact, that the boundary sometimes disappears altogether. The stories that surround this house are as old as the town itself, and they speak of encounters that defy explanation. Step inside and you'll feel it immediately. A coldness that seeps into your bones, a weight that settles upon your shoulders. The air is thick, heavy with the memories of those who have come before. Every creak of the floorboards, every whisper of the wind through broken panes seems to carry a warning. It's a feeling that something is watching, that you are not alone. Shadows seem to move just beyond the edge of your vision, and the silence is broken only by the occasional, inexplicable sound. A soft giggle, a distant cry, the faintest touch on your arm. Visitors often report an overwhelming sense of being observed, as if the house itself is alive, aware of every step you take. The air crackles with unseen energy, a constant reminder of the dark history that stains these walls. Some say the house remembers, that it holds onto the pain and fear of its past inhabitants. Others believe it is a gateway, a place where spirits linger, unable or unwilling to move on. The stories are as varied as the people who tell them, but all agree on one thing: the Sallie House is not a place to be taken lightly. This is not just a house, it's a vessel, a conduit to a realm beyond our comprehension. Within these walls, the ordinary and the extraordinary exist side by side, and those who enter may find themselves forever changed by what they experience. Welcome to the Sallie House, where every shadow tells a story, and every story is a doorway to the unknown. The story begins with a little girl named Sally. She lived in the house in the early 1900s, her laughter once echoing through the halls. But tragedy struck. Sally needed surgery, a routine procedure for the time. The doctor, a respected man in the community, performed the operation in the home. Something went wrong. Sally died on the operating table. Her death, a devastating blow to her family, left an imprint on the house, a stain of sorrow and pain. Decades later, the Pickman family moved in, unaware of the darkness that awaited them. At first, the activity was playful, almost whimsical. Footsteps pattered up and down the stairs. Toys moved on their own. Lights flickered. The family, though a little unnerved, dismissed it as the house settling. They had no reason to suspect anything sinister, but the playful pranks soon escalated, becoming more frequent, more intense. The air grew colder. Whispers seemed to emanate from the walls. Then came the violence. What had once been unsettling noises and fleeting shadows now erupted into something far more sinister. The Pickman family's home, already thick with dread, became a battleground for their very sanity. It started subtly, an icy chill in the air, the feeling of being watched, a sense of pressure that made it hard to breathe. But soon, the haunting made itself known in ways that could not be ignored. Scratches appeared on Tony Pickman's body, deep, angry welts that seemed to burn from the inside out. These wounds would materialize before his eyes, sometimes while others watched in horror, as if invisible claws raked across his skin. The pain was sharp and unrelenting, leaving Tony shaken and desperate for answers. No matter how many times he tried to rationalize the injuries, there was no explanation. No logical cause, no earthly reason. He experienced unexplained burns, as if branded by unseen hands. The marks would appear suddenly, the skin blistering and red, radiating heat as if touched by fire. Doctors were baffled, unable to offer any medical explanation for the injuries. The burns seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy, a constant reminder that something inhuman was sharing their home. His personality shifted, becoming erratic, his words laced with an unfamiliar rage. Tony, once gentle and easygoing, would snap at his loved ones without warning. He felt a constant agitation, as if something inside him was pushing him to the edge. Friends and family noticed the change, whispering about the darkness that seemed to follow him from room to room. Tony would speak in a voice not his own, a deep, guttural growl that sent chills down the spines of those who heard it. Sometimes he would have no memory of these episodes, only to be told later of the terrifying things he had said. The voice was cold, mocking, and filled with hatred, a sound that seemed to echo from the darkest corners of the house. His eyes, once filled with warmth and laughter, turned cold, vacant, possessed by something dark and malevolent. At times his gaze would fix on a point in the room where no one stood, as if he was seeing something invisible to everyone else. The family began to fear not just the entity haunting their home, but the changes it was forcing upon Tony himself. The haunting had escalated, and the Pickman family found themselves trapped in a nightmare. Every night brought new terrors. Every day was spent in fear of what might happen next. The violence was no longer just a threat. It was a reality, one that threatened to tear their family apart. And as the darkness grew stronger, the Pickmans realized they were no longer just fighting for their home, but for their very souls. Paranormal investigators descended upon the Sallie house, drawn by the stories of terror. They came armed with cameras, EMF readers, and, a healthy dose of skepticism. What they found shocked even the most seasoned veterans. EMF meters spiked, recording massive surges of electromagnetic energy. EVPs, or electronic voice phenomena, captured disembodied voices, whispers of anger and despair. The investigators, witnesses to the unseen world, confirmed the presence of powerful entities trapped within the walls of the house. Some whispers spoke of a demonic presence, a malevolent entity that fed off the pain and suffering of the living. Others spoke of a dark history, of rituals performed in the basement, of a gateway to a realm of shadows and despair. The basement, a place of palpable dread, seemed to be the epicenter of the paranormal activity. The air grew thick, heavy, suffocating. The stench of sulfur lingered, a telltale sign of something evil lurking in the darkness. The Pickman family, their lives shattered, fled the Sallie house. They left behind their possessions, their sanity, their sense of peace. The haunting, however, did not end with their departure. Visitors to the house, drawn by curiosity or a desire to connect with the other side, reported similar experiences. Cold spots, disembodied voices, and the feeling of being watched followed them home, a chilling reminder of the darkness that permeates the Sallie house. The Sallie house is not just a haunted house. It's a place where tragedy and the paranormal intertwine. Records confirm that a young girl did die during surgery in the house. Other families who lived there before the Pickmans reported strange occurrences, unexplained illnesses, and a sense of unease. The house seems to hold on to the pain and suffering of those who have crossed its threshold, their energy fueling the paranormal activity within its walls. The Sallie house stands as a stark reminder that evil can wear many masks. Its weathered walls and creaking floors have witnessed decades of secrets, pain, and inexplicable terror. To the casual observer, it's just another relic of a bygone era, a crumbling Victorian home on a quiet street. But for those who have stepped inside, the Sallie house is a place where the line between the living and the dead blurs, and where the ordinary becomes extraordinary in the most chilling ways. Sometimes evil hides behind the innocent face of a child, lulling us into a false sense of security before revealing its true nature. The legend of Sally, the little girl said to haunt these halls, is both heartbreaking and terrifying. Visitors have reported hearing the soft giggle of a child echoing through empty rooms, or the faint sound of tiny footsteps on the stairs. Toys move on their own, and cold spots linger where no draft should exist. It's as if the house itself is alive, playing tricks on those who dare to enter, drawing them deeper into its web of mystery. The mystery of the Sallie house remains unsolved, its secrets locked away behind doors that refuse to stay closed. Paranormal investigators, skeptics, and thrill-seekers alike have all tried to uncover the truth, but the house offers only more questions. Why do so many who visit leave with scratches, bruises, or a lingering sense of dread? What force is powerful enough to leave even the most hardened ghost hunters shaken? Is it truly the spirit of a little girl, trapped in a perpetual state of suffering, longing for comfort and release? Or is the innocent visage merely a mask, a clever disguise for something far more ancient and malevolent? Some believe Sally is a lost soul, reaching out for help. Others are convinced she is a lure, a bait to draw the living closer to something they cannot comprehend. Or is it something more sinister, a demonic entity that feeds off the pain and fear of the living? The stories of violent attacks, sudden illnesses, and overwhelming feelings of despair suggest a presence that thrives on suffering. Shadows move where there should be none, and an oppressive energy hangs in the air, making it hard to breathe, hard to think, hard to escape. The answer, like the house itself, remains shrouded in shadow, a chilling testament to the power of the unknown. The Sally House continues to draw the curious and the brave, each hoping to solve its riddle, each leaving with more questions than answers. In the end, perhaps the greatest terror is not what we see, but what we cannot explain. The face of evil, forever hidden, forever waiting in the darkness.